Hey everybody, it's Shannon from Been Gorgeous, and I'm back again. We're going to be doing our new series, which is called How I Built a Mobile Nail Salon. Let's do this.
And how did you come up with the idea to start a nail business?
I started just kind of like doing my own nails. I would go to the salon and then I would always stop them at the acrylic and be like, okay, that's all I need. And then I would just go home and I would design my nails myself. I actually, more than just design them, I would take a nail file and literally shape my nails myself at home. After I shaped them, I designed them, and after I did that, you know, certain people start to notice and ask, like, who does your nails? And I was like, it's complicated. And they're like, is it complicated? It kind of was like an eye-opener, like, why don't I do my own nails? I started to grow like a really deep love for it. Whatever mood I was in, even if I couldn't go that far with makeup because of work, then I could have more fun with my nails. And that's when it really started to get people's attention. And so my cousin, shout out to Ashleigh, hi FC, she was like, okay, you're doing my nails. As much as I told her no, I was like, no, I'm not really a nail tech. I don't remember how to do it. It's so complicated. I don't have all the stuff. I gave her every single excuse possible. And she was just like, whatever. Like, you have to do my nails, at least like design them. So I showed up to her house with a literal cardboard box full of nail polishes, and I sat there with her and her cousin Sierra, and we just drank wine, and I spent, like, I would say at least a good 4, maybe 4.5 hours over there just talking with them, just polishing, just putting chains and stones and drawing shit on their nails for like hours. And then when I left there, I just felt like a shift. I noticed that there was a gap in the nail business that wasn't being filled. And I started a company called Glamifier.
So would you say that was the beginning or the first thought of having a mobile nail salon, a mobile nail experience?
I didn't even think about that, actually. Because I would say the first time that it really dawned on me was a little further down the line from that. I would say a couple years later. I started doing nails at home. We made this salon at home in the basement. Just a couple of curtains, a nail desk, and some paint. The main focus was nails. But I also had a hair station, I also had a makeup station, and I did all three. But while I was working from home and all my clientele was kind of building via word of mouth, I had a request to do an at-home service. I bought a table, I had a suitcase filled with nail stuff, and I just pulled up at her house and hauled in all my stuff. I sat down, I did her nails, a couple of her friends showed up, they popped up, they was like, oh, can you do me next, can you do me next? It's like, yeah girl, I got you. And at the end of that, she gave me like a wad of money. And soon after that, I got more requests for, you know, mobile services at home. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna need to bring the nail salon with me. I can't just bring this suitcase. The suitcase and the table is not doing what I needed to do.
When you think about that idea of bringing a nail salon to them, in your mind, what did that vision look like?
In my mind, it was kind of like an ice cream truck. It was like, but instead of me passing nails out the window, they sat in there with me.
So when you decided that a mobile nail salon is what you wanted to do, how did you prepare for that?
Well, the number one thing was research. What I did was visit Lara website, which is Michigan's website, and they have all of the laws and the regulations for like the scope of cosmetology and what would be considered legal. And a mobile nail salon, in the way that I was considering it to be a mobile nail salon, was not something that was regulated at the time. But I just couldn't shake the idea. I still found ways to kind of refine what I was doing, and I continued to offer mobile services in a way that it was, you know, I would say accepted. It never really felt like it was enough.
When did you realize that doing it in a truck the way that you wanted was a possibility?
Around 2019, we had somebody in the family that suffered an injury. We actually traveled to the rehab center where she was getting her physical therapy. At that rehab center, they had this conference room, and they let us borrow that space. But while I was working on her nails in that space, I'm working with acrylic, and everybody knows that acrylic and nail polish has a super distinctive smell. Some people love it, some people absolutely hate it. It just so happened that all the residents at this rehab center absolutely hated it. As gracious as they were for hosting us at that time, the complaints were kind of overwhelming. And I just felt really bad about that, because these people are already going through enough. Like, I don't want to make them any less comfortable. So it brought that idea back to me. So when we were leaving, I remember going back on the website, on Laura's website, and it turned out that at some point they ended up adding some amendments to that regulation about mobile services, and now you can actually have a mobile salon. And at that moment, I became obsessed with the idea of getting it. I started making a plan. The plan was to figure out what kind of vehicle to get. And the first thought was a trailer. Get a trailer, create the capital, get funding if necessary, and then work on the rest of that plan.
I know you mentioned getting funding. Did you start looking up ways to get capital or whatever? Did you just save your own money? What did you do to get this process started?
My original plan was to just use my own money. So it wasn't until I started to really research the cost of things like trailers, that's when I realized like I might want to look into the option of getting some type of loan or grant. I started with what I considered the most obvious choice, which was the Small Business Association. I made an appointment with them. I filled out an application and I told them what I was doing. I remember being so excited about this phone call. I was like, oh my God, this is it. We about to get this started. This is real. My whole energy on the phone was just kind of like, I got this great idea. I want to do birthdays. I want to do weddings. I want to do prom send-offs. I want to do all of this stuff. This is my impression of the person I spoke to at the SBA. I'm not going to use her real name. For the purpose of this video, let's just call her Gladys. You're doing this mobile nail salon? Why would anybody need a mobile nail salon? I was so thrown off by that, because nobody had asked me that. My investors are never going to go for this, so I'm not even going to present this to them. I can tell you right now, they're not going to give you that money. Yeah, I was kind of on the phone like, what? And then she was just kind of like, all right, I'll save your application in case you figure out something else. As shocked as I was at that moment, it's so weird, because I was also like extremely happy. I don't even know, this is gonna sound so crazy. I probably should have been devastated. The old me probably would have been devastated. But as bad as it hurt for somebody to be like, oh, that's a dumbass idea, I was kind of like, I got my first no. Like, yes, okay. Got it out the way. I got the first no out the way. This means that the next one, if I ever get another one, it's not gonna hurt. That's bad. If it hurts, then it's not gonna be a shock to me like this one. But everybody's great story started off with them saying like, I got 1,000 no's. I got 1,000 no's. 1,000,000 people told me no. Everybody told me, oh, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do that. I hadn't really gotten that from anybody, but I also never needed anybody else's money to do it. So that was the real difference. All right, so that's the end of this episode, everybody. I hope y'all stay tuned for the next episode. Gotta let you know what happened after we got that no. That was kind of a devastating blow. That was a devastating blow. Episode 2 is coming really, really soon. But in the meantime, can y'all please like and subscribe? Turn on those notifications so that every time we upload a video that you'll see it. If you're planning on starting your own mobile business, if you already have a mobile business and you have some tips for us, if you have some advice, then feel free to leave it all in the comment section, okay? Because this is just the beginning. This is my first time doing anything like this, and I'm so glad to have y'all riding along. It's about to be a crazy year.